I don't know.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Charming Analysis podcast. I'm Mari.
I am Jay.
And today, since
we're on the bed.
We're on the bed for this podcast because Jay apparently didn't want to fucking get up from his spot that he was on in the bed. Because
it's so comfortable and my stomach is full and
basically we went on an outing. We went on an outing today for my birthday. Yes.
Yeah, 29, you old fart.
Shush. And when we were there, we happened to actually go see the new movie Goat. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be doing a podcast on that today. So why don't you explain what Goat is about, honey?
It's about a goat who wants to play basketball. Or their version of basketball.
Called Roar.
Roar ball?
It stands for something. I forgot what it was.
Roar ball. Basketball. It's
basically basketball.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about a young goat named Will who is trying to become the first smaller creature, because they classify creatures by small, medium, and large. And technically he's a medium, but they call him a small because he's little. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so he's trying to be the first small to do basketball in the general area that they are in. So it's basically up to him. He ends up joining the team called the Thorns, where his idol, Jet Fillmore, who is a panther, I believe? Panther, cougar, something like that?
Yeah, a jaguar.
Something. She's a cat. She's a big cat.
Yeah, she's
a wild cat.
Yeah, she's a wild cat.
But yeah, basically, he looks up to her. He basically wants to be like her, in a sense. Like, with it, like, basketball and stuff like that. Because he's looked up to her since his mom took him to a game as a kid. And it's basically up to him to basically win the claw, which is the trophy for the basketball league.
The big championship. Let's say the big championship, because all these sports movies are just, we gotta win the big championship. We gotta win the big trophy so that the whole town can be happy, or we win the prize money or some stuff. It's always something like that.
Basically, that's the gist of what it is.
So this is kind of like Space Jam, except
with goats,
not like
and other animals.
It's not like the Looney Tunes are going to become slaves at the end for the Monstars. You remember that plot line?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, remember? We haven't seen Space Jam in a long time.
Maybe one day we'll do Space Jam and Space Jam 2.
No, because then I have to see Space Jam 2, and I don't want to see that piece of shit. I don't.
Maybe one day I'll do it, since he doesn't want to do it.
I don't want to do Space Jam, because then I have to watch Space Jam 2, and it's going to be fucking awful.
Maybe one day I'll do it. We'll see. Anyway, so basically this is made by the people who did K-Pop Demon Hunters and Sony Animations. They also made Mitchell's vs. Machines. So this is Sony's newest production. I honestly thought this movie was really fucking good. This was such a great movie.
Because you're a big furry.
Also, this is like a good premise for like a movie. Like
a goat playing basketball.
Yes. Anyway, what did you think of Goat?
I like that you were like, yeah, I liked it because it was furry. What did you think?
Well, come on.
What
did you think of Goat?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good romp, honestly. I think the most that I'm probably going to remember from Goat,
at least plot-wise.
Yeah, is not plot-wise. The most I'm going to remember from Goat is probably the designs.
They did really
and,
good.
The I don't want to say animation style, but the environments were so
detailed, and they were very like intricate. So basically,
for the animal world that they inhabit, this is what I wanted Zootopia to be. Instead, look, I get there's some creativity to Zootopia. Let me not say that. I'm talking about, I don't know.
You feel like this is what it would have done if they did a little bit more.
Maybe because they put vines everywhere. I don't know. Maybe because it just made it look like animals would actually, like, live... anthropomorphic animals would actually, like, live there and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, it was a mix of, like... it was a mix of like anthropomorphic stuff, but it was like they drive, cars and fucking planes and shit, you know? So more technological advanced, I'm assuming. Maybe? I don't know. There's no planes in Zootopia, I don't think.
At least that we've ever seen. But
Yeah.
compared to Zootopia, which this is not a comparison video.
I know, but
that's
like,
the most recent thing we saw that was furry related.
Well, yeah, but like
Minus
also
Goofy
integrated like anthropomorphic animals into a city in an environment. I also think the designs are better.
Honestly, the designs for these characters were fucking amazing. I loved Will's design as like the goat design that they did for him. Like they gave him like an afro mohawk in a sense. That's kind of what it looked like to me. Like a little afro mohawk, kind of like mix between that. Mm-hmm. His design was pretty cool. I also liked the Thorns team. Jet, I thought, was a really compelling character. Mm-hmm. I wish the other teammates did get screen time a little bit more. We just get basic stuff from them. Like, the Rhino's basically a single dad to his 2 twin daughters, who are apparently very destructive, which I thought was interesting. Then we get the giraffe, who basically has been... I guess
a rapper.
He's a rapper, and he got kicked off of like 10 teams for being tall.
Yeah.
Which I feel like they could have done more with him. There's also an emu, I believe is what she was. She was a type of ostrich emu.
Is it ostrich?
She was an ostrich that kept just burying her face in like everything and throwing up. They could have done more with her as well, but... And then we also...
This movie is all one note, but I'm not here to, like...
Bash it.
I'm not here to bash kids' movies for being
kids'
one-note plots. Like, I'm not here to bash any kids' movie for being one-note as long as they're entertaining. I don't need, well, it did follow a discriminatory message. But, like, I don't need everything to be as blunt as Zootopia. Yeah. I really don't, because that's just what makes me not like that movie in particular.
Basically,
Zootopia 2 was better, but like, it's not something that I'm going to want to like so much watch again. Maybe this one, because it's that animation keeping it up.
The animation was gorgeous.
It's those character designs. And I don't know, I kind of like, I like the voice acting a lot more.
I will say that as well. The voice acting was brilliant.
I like that it was more, like, I guess, anthropomorphic, because they were, I guess, more wilder, in a way.
They had more animal characteristics than Zootopia did with their characters.
Yeah, because they go on all fours and stuff like that.
Yeah, like this universe basically makes it to where they're anthropomorphic, but they still act like animals. Like, Zootopia basically did this thing to where they're just humans as animals, in a sense. Like, they walk on 2 feet. Yeah. They basically... Some swim. Some, like, do other things, but they're more, like... They're more civilized. That's the word. They're more civilized.
Humans. Like, they were just, if this... I don't, like, I to me, you could probably tell Zootopia with humans. If you really
You really could.
And maybe you could do also with Goat. You could also do this with humans. And you could just have it be a basketball movie. But it's its own thing with anthropomorphic animals, and it has more of an identity because of them being more animals, I guess.
Yeah, so compared to Zootopia, if you want more, like, animalistic traits with characters, then Goat would probably be a better fit for you.
This is like a more, like, it's a more flashy movie. It is a sports movie. It's a very predictable sports movie.
But then again, this is coming from 2 people that aren't really into, like, the sports movies. I still thought this was a good movie. Like, it was
better than Space Jam.
I don't know. I haven't seen Space Jam in a very long time, so I can't really judge it based on that. Is it one of the better sports movies I've seen? Yes.
I didn't see anybody get flattened by ass. so...
Well, that too.
0 stars.
Hey, what do you mean 0 stars?
0 stars. No one got flattened by ass.
So I will say this. Because I haven't seen Space Jam in a long time. Maybe eventually for a mini Mario review, I might do both movies, since Jay apparently doesn't want to do them.
I'll watch the first one
for whatever fucking reason.
I'll watch the first one with you. I'm not seeing that second one. You can have fun with that.
Oh, brother. Anyway, so compared to... We're not trying to make this a comparison video, but Zootopia is the only other furry movie we've seen. Because Disney...
There's other furry movies.
I know, but like this is the more recent one we've seen, and it's probably one of the better examples that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
DreamWorks has done like
Bad
Guys. Bad Guys is kind of a furry movie. I mean,
Bad Guys is technically
furry characters, but it's not all furry.
Yeah, like this is the reason I'm not including Bad Guys in the mix of this is because it's not just animals. There's also humans in the world.
Yeah.
Like, so that's not really like a quote unquote furry movie. It's still a furry movie, but not the kind we're talking about.
We're talking about animals that wear clothes. We're not talking about just animals with human voices.
Yeah, so like, there's different kinds of furry movies for those who don't know.
I just
Stop doing the socks.
I just love that we're like, okay, there's this type of furry movie, there's this type of furry movie.
Can I finish
Either way,
explaining?
you guys are getting talking animals.
But still, like, there's different types of anthropomorphic movies from what I've seen. There's Zootopia, where they kind of, like, Zootopia's premise, where they're basically humans inside animals, but they just don't want to, like, they're more civilized. Let's say they're more civilized is the best way to put it. Then you have movies like Bad Guys / BoJack, where they mix animals and humans together in the same world. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like, it's kind of a furry movie, but not really. It's like a hybrid between furry and not furry. So that's kind of like a separate genre in and of itself. And then you have the kind like Goat has, where they're animals. They're obviously fucking animals. Mm-hmm. But they're not just acting civilized. They have the animalistic traits to them. Mm-hmm. Like, they walk on all fours sometimes. Like, the goats in the movie will buck their heads. They eat the fucking cans. The carnivores will try and eat the herbivores. In a sense.
So is that canon? I guess that's canon.
Well, she almost tried to eat the goat.
That they will eat each other?
I'm gonna assume yes, because literally...
Regardless of morals?
Jet literally tried to eat Will.
I guess.
In the beginning. I don't know if she was
like,
joking or if she was actually being serious, but she still wanted to eat him at first. So I'm going to assume that's a part of it. I don't know. If it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is still a new movie. This literally just came out like Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. So this has been out for like a good 3-4 days. But this is the first time we're seeing
about
it.
The society, because it does. It doesn't go anything into the societal of how does this function? Like, is there actual discrimination between like there's nothing really. It's just the only discrimination is that like Will's a goat. And there hasn't been a small mammal to ever play a role. But there's no actual anything other discrimination because it's just a straightforward sports movie. Yeah. We gotta do the sports movie cliches.
So here's the thing.
That's what makes me like it, I guess, better than Zootopia because, in all honesty, I guess that movie just did not age well.
Well, then again, it came out like years ago and furry movies and quote unquote have gotten a lot better.
Even with like the sequel, I was just like, I wasn't, I'm not interested in this, like, I wasn't interested in these characters and this world really much in the first place anyway, so I was just like, okay, more of the sequel.
This is why I was surprised when you were
Which is why I want more people to do more anthropomorphic movies however they want, even if it's just one note, simple story about
goat trying to play basketball.
Or the rodeo. I don't know. It's just something like that.
But, like, it's one of those things to where, like, in my opinion, I feel like this movie did a great job with its stuff. Like, it's a great story, even if we don't know much about the society. But I would like to say that's something I would not mind seeing if they ever do, like, a potential sequel. Mm-hmm. I want to kind of see how this world operates compared to Zootopia. Like, I genuinely
I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna gain a crowd with a lot of this is gonna gain a crowd with this is definitely like one of those movies where it's like definitely urban type
Yeah. Well, then again, like it's
definitely like a lot of these characters are coded different races. So
definitely.
Like,
which is, I think, is a good thing. Like, they at least make the characters, like, unique to one another.
I was just like, damn, they gave a horse dreadlocks.
They did, and he looked great.
Yeah,
like, he looked
probably the best character design in the movie, to be honest.
Really? His?
Yeah, I think his was the best character design.
Honestly, I can agree with you that one.
He was
like
the best character design. I think he was the best voice actor. I wish there was more of the horse in it.
He looked, I will say this, compared to the horse that was in Zootopia, he looks way better than the horse in Zootopia. Like, let's get that out there. He looks way better.
He looks better than the horse in Zootopia.
He does! He wears fucking dreads, and he looked great. Like, he fucking looked great. And
the animation is like, you know, I mean, you can kind of see fur particles, but it's kind of like...
It's more experimental.
It's kind of like glossed, like the clothes, like it all has, like, you know, it all has, like, you know, different shading. Only when you get the real close-ups will you actually see fur, but other than that, it just kind of looks like, I don't want to say plastic, but like that sheen look.
But it looks, compared to, like, some of the other movies that Sony's done, this is, like, one of the first, like, animal movies I think they've really, like, experimented with.
Open season.
Besides, that's why I said...
Surf's Up!
That's why I said experimented with. Because compared to some of their other movies, like Surf's Up, and, like, the open season movies... This has the most detail I think we've ever seen from any of their animal movies. And then again, this is like one of their modern ones. Like,
Peter Rabbit?
Peter Rabbit was done by Sony? Or was that someone else?
It was Sony.
Okay, live action wise, that's kind of a different story. But we're not counting Peter Rabbit in this because that's more live action.
Okay, fine.
But compared to other movies that Sony has done, this is probably the most detailed that they've done with a furry movie, in my opinion. Like, you get to, like what Jay said, you get to see all the textures. They experiment a lot more with this movie.
Probably a lot more. Probably, at least environment-wise, this is probably, like, just as detailed as, like, something like Spider-Verse. Because it is definitely, like, you can see, like...
You can see the inspiration from Spider-Verse.
Like, you know, you can see, like, the whole, like, you know, the city that's just covered in vines, and then underneath those vines are buildings, and then the buildings, like, how, like, you know, have, like, worn out paint and graffiti over the vines.
Well, at least the area that they were in.
Yeah, and it's, like, I don't know, it was interesting.
We did also get to see other environments, but we mostly got to see them from, the basketball field.
I wish we did get to see other environments. The thing about it is, what's getting me to not fully, like, love this movie, like, I guess you did, was because
because you were the one that wanted to come see this movie. This was your idea.
I think this was one of the movies. I think this is one of the few Sony movies where the pacing actually did hurt it. Like, normally Sony movies are so fast and so quick that I don't care, and, like, you know, normally it doesn't bother me because there's points where, like, even, well, depending on the quality of the movie, like, there's, you know, Sony movies I do, you know, enjoy and I love because of their fast pace.
I also like the fact
that... there's, like, you know, movies that are not good, but, you know, I still appreciate the fast paced because, you know, it just gets the movie over with. But this one, I was just, like, I was enjoying it so much that I wish it could have just, you know, I wish it could have developed these, like, you know, I guess emotional scenes, and I guess that's where, like, it does hurt it a little bit because, you know, when you're doing the pacing is so, like, speed rocket that I don't really know much about the character. Like, I don't really know much about the characters because they're not really given anything, like anything new to say or anything like that. Besides, like, you know, good voice acting, which, you know, I can say that, but, like, am I gonna remember anything, like, besides, like, the animation, the character designs, and the voice acting? Like, to me, like, you know, that can push, you know, that can be just that by that self alone, you know, it can push it, and, like, I cared enough, but, you know, that's what makes it, like, you know, just kind of like one of the in the middle for me.
Like, for me personally, I genuinely think this is one of the better, like, animal movies that Sony has done. Is it the best furry movie
we've... It's the best Sony movie.
It's not the best Sony movie, but it's one of the more better furry movies that we've gotten. I will definitely say that for a fact. Now, granted, besides the story and the voice acting and the Spider-Verse-esque style...
I do also appreciate that, like, I don't know, people are always complaining, like, movies for kids are becoming...
The next Spider-Verse.
It used to be too hip, but now people say too woke, which I think people just don't care about, like, kids in general.
Which is sad when if people, you think about it.
Just say that.
Which is sad.
It's like, you're not giving a real criticism if you're just saying, oh, this movie's too hip. Like, okay, but almost every single movie has always been dedicated to the time that it came out. So it doesn't really fucking matter.
So here's one of the other things I like
Hey, wait, but...
What?
I don't mind the fact that, like, it is more, like, culturally diverse. It gives it more of an identity because of that.
Oh, definitely. Like,
if it wasn't made by people who didn't love basketball, and if it was that, it would be a cash grab.
Yeah, like, this definitely had some heart and soul to it. Like, you can tell they knew what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
But here's one of the other things. Like, besides the voice acting being really good, the character designs were great, like, fantastic. It's one of the better, like I said before, it's one of the better furry movies we've seen. Like, diversity-wise, which is also good. The environments were fucking beautiful compared to, like, other stuff. But I will say this, stuff that I feel like they could have done a little bit better. I would have liked to see more of the world for this series, for this, like, movie. Like, we did get to see a little bit from, like, the different stadiums that they were in, but, like, we didn't get to see, like, other areas, in a sense, besides the jungle.
We only really stuck to that, like,
we only stuck to, like, the one town and, like, a little bit off where, like, Jet was living at, which is technically still jungle, just kind of, like, farther out. Mm-hmm. Like, rainforesty kind of deal. Like, that's really all we stuck to, mainly, is jungle and, like, rainforest. I guess that's kind of the basic area we were at. So, we did get to see a couple other, like, places, but not enough to where...
like, and also, like, you would be like, well, they could always, and people are like, oh, well, that's what a sequel's for, but I feel like this is not, like, even if it's as successful, I think it's going to be one of those one-off movies that's probably just going to stand on its own. It's probably not going to get that, because, like...
You never know, like, it could. You never know.
It had to, like, pull in a lot of, like... It had to pull in a lot. It has to be, like, one of those things to where people are going to fucking love, like, the zeitgeist would probably have to love this movie, and people are just calling this, like, from what I've heard, people are just calling this, like, good, acceptable, and all that stuff.
But you never know.
It had to really pull the zeitgeist, and, like, maybe, but... Again, it's like, I think that's why it's just like, people are just like, when, you don't really get sequels to...
Furry movies very often.
Like,
there's a couple exceptions, like Open Season, even though a lot of the sequels were kind of mid, but it's been a while since we've watched them, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Open Seasons, no, those are good movies.
Minus a couple exceptions here and there, like Open Season. Don't forget, Bad Guys basically didn't...
I would rather just get one-offs than anything, really.
I wouldn't mind having...
If this is just a studio of one-offs and that they just wanted to make, like, the only things that they wanted to make was fucking Spider-Verse, that's fine. Like, that's it. I don't need, like, I really, really, really don't want, I would rather just have one-offs from an animation studio. At least they would just be handing the to people who really want to tell their story.
Depending on the series and stuff, I'd like that they get sequels sometimes because you get to explore more of a universe you really like, depending on, the movie.
Yeah, and that's why I just like so fast-paced that how can, like, I want to see more of the world, but they're just moving so quickly that I'm just like, I don't get to, like, appreciate it as much, even though I love the backgrounds and all that.
But yeah, basically, stuff that I feel like could have been done better. I would have liked to see more of the world. I also wanted to see more of, like, their societal standpoint. Like, because Zootopia, they kind of establish, oh, everyone's at peace.
That's the thing. I didn't care to see the societal standpoint. It's a fucking
I just wanted
playing basketball.
That's fine. But, like, enough... Like, it didn't have to be
a fucking sports movie. Can I finish? It was a sports movie.
That's fine. But if you're gonna do it, I would have liked to just see at least a bare minimum for it. Like, do they eat each other? Do they, like, do what Zootopia does and all live in peace? At least that. So that way we can kind of understand what everyone is fucking going through. At least that. I just wanted to know if they were going to eat each other.
Maybe it's
That's all I asked for.
Maybe it's just like the real world where, like, you know, above the surface it is okay. And then you got the global elites who all eat people.
Can we not? Anyway, that's all I wanted when it comes to societal aspects for this. That would have been interesting to at least see, oh, do these guys just eat each other to survive? Kind of deal.
No, they had normal food. That's like, oh wait, they have normal food. So, which...
Then why did she want to eat him is the part I want to know.
If they have
I don't know if that was a joke or no.
Then how do they get... Maybe it's a BoJack thing where, like, some animals get the smart juice and then other animals don't get the smart juice.
I don't fucking know.
Like, I don't know. But, I don't know.
Excuse
I wasn't
me.
asking those questions. I just wanted to see more of the environments.
I wasn't asking those questions either. I just wanted to know if she was gonna eat him or not. That's it. Because of that one scene. That's it. That's the only reason I'm even bringing this up.
Maybe they just all eat dog food and kibble. Maybe that's it. Maybe
Jay, shush. Anyway.
And grass.
I just wanted to at least know that. It didn't have to be more in depth than that. Just be like, oh, sometimes we have to do what we gotta do. Another example is, like, we haven't seen Hopper yet because it's not come out yet, but I've seen, like, a couple trailers of it. Hopper, they basically eat each other if need be. Mm-hmm. From what I've seen from the trailers, eventually we're going to do that movie. I told Jay, you're doing it with me next month, this movie. So,
yeah, but
still.
You can count those as furry movies, I guess. But, like, you know, they're also in their own realm. They're, like, actual animals. So, like...
I get it.
I mean, like, in furries, as in, like, they wear clothes. And they drive car. What was that car model, by the way, in the fucking thing? Was that a Hyundai?
I don't know.
That was a car. Like
that
was
actual car.
Like,
also,
that was like, oh my god, that's actually throwing me off.
But, like, besides...
You're driving a Chevrolet?
Jay,
like, what did
you are going off track.
What did they do? I'm sorry. It was just like, when they showed the actual car logo, and I'm like, what are they driving?
Besides the fact that we could have seen more of the environments, like, I've been trying to talk about for the last, like, 10 minutes, and you keep, like, going on a tangent. I wish we could have also gotten to see Jet developed a little bit more, because we just see her as, oh, the big fucking star that's just trying to prove her point kind of shit. We just get to see that. We don't get to see much backstory from her, which is really fucking sad, because they look like they were building up to that, but they really didn't. Like, I would have liked to see at least a little bit of backstory about Jet. We just have her talking about, like, one of the games, and that was it. And I know she's not like
just because the movie moves so quickly.
I understand she's not a full-on main character like Will is, but at least with Will, you got to kind of, like, understand where he was coming from.
She is a main character.
But, like, she's more of a secondary main character.
But she's still a main character.
I just would have liked to see more about her and, like, how everyone kind of came to be at least a little bit. Just, it doesn't have to be much, but, like, at least enough to where they can each establish their own.
It was so quickly, and it just kind of led in the moment, which I'm fine with, but it just, for me, I was just like, it needed to suck me more, I guess, more in.
It needed to be more immersive.
Yeah, and, like, it wasn't giving me really any, like, slow moments or any, like, piece of, like, dialogue that was, like, besides, like, the occasional, like, quips in here and there. Like, it wasn't giving anything that was, like, sparking anything, like...
But, yeah, like, I would have liked...
That. But...
Can I finish my statement?
But in spite of that, I liked it. Like, I still liked it, and I think, like, even if it's, like, a mid-original movie, it's still a good, like, it's still a good original movie. Yeah.
But I will also say this, like, I would have definitely liked to see at least a little bit more character development from everybody. Not just Jet, because Will obviously gets his character development. Like, that's fucking obvious, and that's great.
He didn't really have an arc, though. He
didn't have an arc, but he still, like, proved himself, which is still good. But I would have liked to see a bit more character development.
I don't think he proved himself.
I thought he did.
I think he just, like, showed off what he could do, and they were like, oh, he could do it. That's it.
Still, you get my point. So basically,
there's no growth there.
He gets a growth, but it's not like a big amount of growth. He gets like half a bar.
What?
He gets half a bar of growth.
Where did you see that?
When he was basically trying to motivate the team and what his mom said, basically.
That's like sports talk. That's like,
well, I
that's
don't
like the big, like, speech, like, fucking, remember when Bugs Bunny drank the aqua water and he fucking jacked himself off?
Jay, we're not bringing that up.
like, all of that, and, like, so why say jack himself off?
Enough. Okay.
Like, it was basically that. It was just the word version of that.
No more talking for a minute. Let me finish my statement. You have been interrupting me the last, like, 3 times I talked about it.
It's just like you're acting like, you know, he had, like, you know, this big emotional arc. He didn't. It
didn't have to be a big emotional.
He just shoots at some hoops, and then it was like, okay, I proved myself. Now let me fucking play. Okay.
I get it. It didn't have to be like a big emotional thing. Some movies need to have big emotional, like, growth to them, and some don't. This was one of those movies to where he still had growth, but it wasn't, like, super emotional growth. Mm-hmm. And that didn't need it because he could fucking prove himself. He said what he could do, and he did it. However, like, I do wish that we got to see more of Jet and why she was the way she was. Mm-hmm. Same with the other team members. We just got basic stereotypes for them. That's not a bad thing, but, like, we still got basic, bare-bones stereotypes.
They're just there for jokes.
I get it, but we don't need to have them there for jokes. But I get why they do it. Other than those things, I think the movie is great.
They're there for jokes, and they're there for, like, you know, to add other, like, you know, designs, character designs.
Yes.
And, like, I pointed this out to Mari when the credits were rolling. I'm like, there was no wolves, there was no dogs. That
was the one thing I actually found interesting, and
I guess there was no domesticated, like, animals in here, because there's no dogs or cats or, like, anything like that.
That's something I actually did not notice until Jay pointed out, and I was going to mention that before you kept interrupting me.
I'm sorry.
I love you, honey, but there are times where I'm trying to talk about a point, and then you interrupt me.
I'm sorry.
Which is fine, but it's like, let me at least finish my statement before you say something. Okay. I'm not trying to be a booty, but it's like, how am I supposed to finish my statement if you keep interrupting?
Okay, but I find it funny.
Whatever.
And also it's fun, and it keeps the conversation going.
True, but still, you get my point. Anyway, as I was saying, this is one of those movies to where...
But wait, we'll go back to the other thing. There was no domestic...
yeah, right, that. So, that's something I actually did not notice until Jay pointed out. That's interesting. The fact that they didn't include, like, dogs, like, domesticated cats, not like how Jet was, like, a cat... A wild cat.
They're wild. They're wild animals.
But they included just mainly wild animals. Like, no domesticated animals whatsoever. No wolves. No canines of any kind. And I thought was interesting. Most of the movies have that.
Integrated flying animals.
Well, there is some. Like, ostrich, definitely.
There's tropical birds.
Like, they have birds. But, like, nothing, like, physically domesticated. Like... Regular dogs you see, like, that a person would own. Mm-hmm. Cats that you see a person would own. Like, stuff like that. It was all wild animals, which I thought was honestly refreshing. Because most ones do, like, the dog or, like, the cat or, like, a wolf.
How many animated dogs have you seen?
A lot. So the fact that they actually... And then I do give this pointers and, like, positive stuff for it. We need more movies...
like, a wallabat?
Wombat?
Wombats? Whatever the fuck that thing was.
I don't remember.
Like the
friend?
Yeah, the friend.
That was a capybara, honey.
No, the other animal.
Hyena?
It wasn't hyena. It was a wombat or something.
I don't know.
It wasn't a bat. It was like
armadillo.
No, it was a type of hyena.
I don't know.
It's like a type of
a wild dog. I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It's not a canine.
A dingo?
No, it's not a canine. It's like a breed of hyena, but it's not. Hyena.
I get it.
Hyenas aren't dogs.
I know. But, anyway.
But it was just interesting. I'm like one of the first things one of the first things is like, oh, I want there to I want my son to be a wolf or a fucking coyote.
That's what a lot of people do, and that's
like, let's not do that. Let's not put the fucking thing that furries expect, which is the exact same thing.
Which is a good thing because there's nothing wrong with having like a furry character being like a dog, wolf, or cat or whatever, but getting to actually see different animals that aren't the typical ones was nice and refreshing. And I will give that proper points because that's actually a good thing. Like, not everyone wants to be a wolf, a dog, or a cat. Some people actually want to be interesting shit, which is good. It's a good thing. It's giving other furry characters like a better light.
I did see a lot of big cats.
But that's different. They're not like regular cats. They're wild cats.
They're wild cats.
Which is different. Like, you can still have a cat, but it doesn't have to be a domesticated cat. You can have them be different things.
Which I think a lot of furries are like, wild cats.
Which is fine, but it's like better than a lot of the ones we've seen. Like, these are more diverse kind of deal. Like, I wish we had more diverse, like, furry characters like this. This is one of those examples where we have a lot, and I think that's a great thing compared to some of the other movies. Granted, Zootopia also has a lot of, like, diversity and stuff when it comes to animals as well, which I also give that pointers for. But this one definitely had, like, a lot better of a diversity in a sense because they actually made them all look and speak different, have different culture to them, which I think was great. It's one of the better things I've seen out of fucking animation.
Yeah.
Now, last thing we'll talk about before we actually, like, give our ratings. I personally think this deserves either a sequel or a mini-series.
I don't want that.
I would like to see more from this universe.
It'll get like one season on Netflix. They'll get one season on Netflix.
Can you not?
As a 2D show.
Like, I would like to see either a sequel to this in the future.
And they will go and play, every episode will be a different team that they have to go up against.
Also, don't forget, like, it took us, like, years for us to get Bad Guys 2. So it could happen. And Bad Guys wasn't even that successful. It was successful enough to where they could get a sequel.
And then the sequel wasn't successful.
Can we not? But it was still a cult classic. It's still a good movie and franchise, and I'm glad they're actually doing shit with it.
I'm surprised, like, the reason why probably Bad Guys got a sequel was because it was successful during the pandemic.
Well, that
and then
too.
They were like, I think a lot of goodwill kind of fell off of Bad Guys because, like,
of this TV series,
of the TV show,
which I didn't even know that they had a TV show until, like, after this came out. Like, after the second movie came out, I was like, there's a fucking TV show?
And they're like...
And it sucked?
Here's the thing. Once you go on television, like, once an animated movie that was big at the box office gets a series, and then the sequel comes out, like, in theaters, people are less likely to go see it because they're like, well, we got that at home already. Why do you need to see it? You know? And, like, theaters are still not doing great.
But they're still doing, like, a bit better than they have been. It depends on what you're going to see.
But streaming has really killed it.
Which is sad.
Killed a lot of, like, entertainment to go to the movies.
Which is sad.
You have to be something, like, exclusively at movie theaters. So, better just to, like, either get your one-off and get a success from that, or just strictly release your movies in movie theaters.
Anyway. But, yeah, like... I personally think this deserves a sequel of some kind, or at least, like, a TV show. Yeah. It doesn't have to be, like, a full-fledged TV show.
Also, I think the fact that, like, DVDs don't exist, like, much anymore, like, I think that's also really killing, like,
physical media.
No, it's killing hype for upcoming, like, if you want a sequel or anything like that, it kills hype for that. Yeah. Because if you own the original on DVD and you, like, you watch it, you build a nostalgia for it over time, you're like, oh, well, the sequel's coming, that's why people build hype for the sequels in theaters back in the day.
But yeah, like,
you're like, oh, well, it's coming out, like, the sequel is coming out, let me go see that in theaters.
But yeah, I would definitely consider either a sequel of some kind or at least some kind of like TV series, even if it's like a limited run.
If it doesn't, I'm not gonna be like, well, I need my GOAT series now.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, I would like to see more from the world. I feel like we would get to, even if it's not from the GOAT character.
You know
I just
want
to
see
what?
I want to see more. I want to see more original anthropomorphic movies that aren't from different studios or even the same studio.
Exactly.
I want to see more original one-offs of anthropomorphic movies because I think then we can have a real diverse fucking
Well, that I can also understand as well. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing like that either.
All that.
But I do have a question for you because I personally feel like this would be better as a sequel movie. Do you think it would be better if it had like a sequel or a TV show of some kind, even if it's like a mini series? Just something.
Maybe a TV show, but it's about fucking basketball. And I don't know a lot.
They made I don't know how many fucking Air Bud movies, and that's technically a furry movie if you think about it.
Technically, also, it wasn't all about basketball.
But I'm just saying, they still did sports.
Yeah, but they were coming for the puppies.
They still
for the doggies.
They still did sports.
Oh, okay, but we didn't
Those
watch
count.
fucking Air Bud because you watched the Air Bud because he could hit the ball. That's all you watched. Has actual. How dare you fucking compare? Okay, that's the one thing I will defend Goat on. How fucking dare you compare it to Air Bud out of all things? That is
what
a
other sports?
trained dog that is just hitting the ball. This is an animated film. How dare you?
Anyway.
How dare you?
Okay,
Oh
stop
my
throwing
God.
your socks around. You've thrown your socks around enough for this fucking video.
No.
Alright, let's give our fucking ratings. I'm gonna give my rating first. I would personally give GOAT a 9 out of 10. I think
that is almost a near perfect
it's
movie.
not near perfect.
That is.
Fine, an 8.5. You
That is
happy
still
now?
almost two. That's
Shut
probably
up.
too high.
It's my opinion.
So you love this more than Zootopia?
I think it's just as good as Zootopia, in my opinion. Look,
The first one?
can I finish what I am saying? Honey, I love you, but come on. How am I supposed to finish what I'm saying if you don't give me a minute? Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by my husband, look, I give this an 8.5 to a 9, kind of in between that. Basically, I think this movie's great. It has amazing potential. I do hope eventually we get some kind of continuation to this.
But you're saying it has amazing potential, not the actual product.
It's really good. It's good.
So you would put this above Zootopia?
Do I have to? I think it's
I'm
just...
just saying you love Zootopia.
Listen, I think it's just as good as Zootopia, in my personal opinion. But I like it for different reasons. Sit up!
No.
You are going to keep coughing if you don't sit up.
No.
Look, I like Zootopia and Zootopia 2. I also like GOAT for different reasons. I like GOAT for its diversity and the way that they establish their cast and stuff like that. Zootopia I like more for the characters and stuff like that. Like, specifically characters and their dynamics. Along with the world building for both. Both of them have amazing world building. I just wish GOAT had a little bit more. Because Zootopia had a lot. Like, you get, like, different, like, areas. Especially with the incorporation of Zootopia 2 with, like, all the reptiles kind of deal. I like both movies in different ways. But at least with GOAT, they were a lot more diverse with characters, their designs, and the way that they, like, established accents and everything. Stuff like that. I do think, diverse-wise, it's better than Zootopia and Zootopia 2. But they both have good stories, and they're both good movies. Okay? Now, was that so hard? Was that so hard?
I was just saying because you saw potential in, like, you saw potential in GOAT that you're giving it such a high score.
Can you stop?
Okay, fine.
Anyway, I love you, honey, but, like...
I think that this is better than Zootopia.
And
but
good.
I did not think that Zootopia was all that good in the first place.
We get
so that
it.
just leaves it as kind of a mid to me. But it's a good mid.
It's good mid. It's like...
mid.
It's
I
like a
think
bit above mid.
It is baby's first sport movie.
Yes.
Is baby's first sport movie, and I don't think that it's a bad thing. You know?
Yes.
Someone compared it to, what was it, Like Mike? I don't know if you ever heard of that one.
No.
It's like a basketball movie with,
But yeah.
Another basketball movie.
But I'm just saying, I do think people should at least go give this movie a chance before you decide, oh, it doesn't look that good.
You know, the one that...
Please give it a chance.
You know, the one that Toonrific Tyreek reviewed?
Yes.
That one.
Oh my gosh. I'm not, honey. Anyway, look. I suggest giving this movie a chance before you judge it. It's got great animation skills like Spider-Verse does. If you like if you're an animation buff like we are. I'm also into like furry content because I just find it interesting, and also they tell more compelling stories in my personal opinion. I feel like even though it's a simple story, they still do a great job with what they do and all that. I genuinely think this movie deserves a chance before you guys just judge it based on that. Okay?
I didn't even give my rating.
Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. What's your fucking rating, Jay? Because you keep stalling everything today.
Stall, okay?
Anyway, what's your rating?
I give it like a 6 out of 10.
Would you watch it again? Because I would.
I probably would. Or I would like, you know, just... I think, like, in terms of the, like, I guess, the category of furry movies, I would probably watch this above the Zootopia movies.
Which is good. That's a good thing. It's okay.
And, like...
Not every furry movie is going to be good, and not everyone is going to be bad. Some are just going to be in the middle, and that's okay. It's still good content
Somewhere
regardless.
around the world, this is somebody's worst nightmare. Oh, it's a sports furry movie.
At least let us have this.
Let us have the furry
basketball
theater
movie.
Drama. Oh, that's just B-stars.
Anyway. Do you have anything else to say before we end this? Because you were the one that said you were really fucking tired to do this.
I was tired.
And now apparently you have all the fucking energy in the world. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
I am so drunk off food. It's crazy.
We went to fucking Olive Garden before we're recording this, and he was like, I'm so full and I'm so tired. And then he comes home and he's a fucking maniac. I love my husband, but it's like, come on. Like, dude. Pick one. You either an upper or a downer.
I'm both.
It's crazy.
I'm a bumper.
Anyway. That's going to be the end of the podcast for tonight. Hoping to have this out by, like, the middle of the week, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, draw that thumbnail.
I get it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we're out. Bye, guys!